There is something about the way this camera handles light that just feels different from your standard camcorder. Most people look at this thing and see a bulky, slightly awkward piece of gear, but once you actually get it on a tripod and start playing with that massive sensor, you realize it is punching way above its weight class. It is not trying to be a pocket-sized vlogging tool. It is built for people who actually care about depth of field and that specific creamy background blur that usually costs thousands more to achieve. The 16.1 megapixel sensor is the real star here. It is an APS-C size, which is the same kind of tech you find in serious mirrorless cameras, and it shows. When you are shooting in that 24p mode, you get this organic, film-like motion that makes even mundane shots look like they belong in a short film. Now here is the thing about the ergonomics. It is definitely a two-handed affair. The body is designed to be held by the side grip, and while it feels solid and well-balanced, it is not exactly something you want to hold at arm's length for an hour. The 18-200 lens that comes in the kit is a workhorse, though. It covers almost everything you would need, from wide-angle landscapes to tight shots of a subject across the room, and the optical stabilization is surprisingly effective at keeping things steady when you are zoomed in. One of the neatest touches is the microphone array on top. It is not just a tiny pinhole, it is a quad capsule setup that actually picks up decent spatial audio. You might still want an external mic for professional work, but for run-and-gun stuff, it is miles ahead of the tinny audio you get on most cameras. The touch panel screen is bright, and the true black tech really helps when you are out in the sun, though it can be a bit of a fingerprint magnet if you are not careful. Honestly, the biggest hurdle is the menu system. It is classic Sony from that era, which means you might find yourself digging through a few layers just to change a simple setting. It is not a deal-breaker, but it is definitely a quirk you have to get used to. Also, while it handles stills in RAW and JPEG quite well, you are clearly buying this for the video performance. If you are looking for something that gives you that cinematic look without forcing you to jump into a complex cinema camera rig, this is a really interesting middle ground. It is not the newest kid on the block, and it lacks some of the modern bells and whistles like 4K or wireless connectivity, but for pure image quality and that tactile, professional feel, it still holds its own. It is a specialized tool for someone who wants to focus on the craft of shooting, rather than just hitting record and hoping for the best. If you can get past the slightly dated interface, the results you get out of this sensor are still pretty hard to argue with.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.